this is David Wendell with BushcraftOnFire, and we're pleased to be with you for another video. I wanted to do a video today. I've had some questions on sharpening systems. We've shown some sharpening before, and I showed the system that I use mostly, the Lansky, or that I have used up to the point that I did those videos. Let me show you a couple of things about the Lansky and a brand new system from KME Sharpening that I want to show you that just outweighs anything else that I've seen on the market. Alright, now here's my Lansky system, and what I want to show you is a couple things. This doesn't come with the system, I just put this in here. It's a stone, a diamond stone, but this is the basic Lansky system. Most of you are familiar with this. It comes with this little setup that you would hold your knife in. Let me show you one of the problems with that. I've got some bigger blades here, such as my Tom Brown tractor. This doesn't fit in here. You can see I've got this all the way out to the bottom. So what I had to do was I had to adapt that, and what I did was I took a thumb screw that I put in here. That would open that up a little more, and then I could put this in. I want to see something here though. It's pretty hard. I got to hold the knife at the same time that I try to put this down. Again, it's not impossible. It's something you can do, but it takes a little extra time. And then again, I have to change out that thumb screw if I want to sharpen a smaller blade. Then I come back, I have to hold this in my hand and tighten up this other locking piece. Then I can set this down on the table, and I have to take each of my sharpening rods and I have to put those on a stick. So you take that out, put it in the stick, tighten up the thumb screw, and it does come with 3 of these, so I can put each one of the different stones on there, and that's good. Get this box out of the way for a minute, and let's say that I'm going to sharpen up this knife. I take and I put into whatever angle I want, let's say 25, the stone, and then I can run it up and down. Here's one of the problems, and I hope Tam has a close-up shot. There's a lot of play in here. So if this moves, it's going to move my angle just a little bit, not a whole lot, but it's going to move my angle a little bit. So as I'm sharpening, then I've got to be real careful that that stays flush. Once I'm finished, I turn it over, put it back in the 25, and do the other side. And this is pretty typical of most systems out on the market today. So with a little inventiveness, you can make the system work. But let me show you what Ron Swartz from KME Sharpening's come up with. I talked to Ron about 6 months ago. He sent me this sharpener, and to me it is the best thing out there on the market since sliced bread. So let's turn around and go over and show you that system now. Now here's the system from KME Sharpeners, and I've left it all together. It comes with an instruction packet on how to operate this system, how to sharpen your knife, has Ron's phone number in there that you can call him, and it's just a real nice system. Ron, by the way, is an upright guy. First thing you'll notice, this system comes with a base. This base has 4 rubber mounts that sits on your table and doesn't move. The second thing about this system, you screw this little piece in. Now this takes the sharpener out of my hand and makes it a lot safer. On the bottom of the sharpening system itself, it has a little space to insert that post. So now my sharpening system is up. Now this has a couple different things on here. One is that up on this piece here, I can loosen this, raise this up or down to adjust my angle. And that's really important, and I'll show you why in a few minutes instead of playing with separate little holes. Also, this tensioner here is to actually adjust the tension on a turn flip or a turn screw, a flip over that's on this, and I will show you that in a second as well. But we want to put our knife in, so what we do is open this up and push this, and you'll notice that this housing opens up to accept our blade. One of the things that's important about this housing is that it's counterbalanced so that when I put a larger blade in the front, the back opens up a little bit. Let me see if I can show you that with my tractor here. So what I want to do is I'm going to open that up and I'm going to insert my tractor into here. Now, inside of this piece, there's actually a little rubber grip as opposed to just those steel teeth. I can put my knife in here, tighten this down, and there my knife is stable and it's not going to come out of there. Now this tensioner on the back I can tighten or loosen. I want to tighten a little bit right now because I got a pretty big knife in here. What that tensioner allows me to do is to flip over this knife as I'm sharpening. And so as I flip that knife, it makes it pretty easy to sharpen it, keep my angle constant, no problem with the knife, and again my hands are free. But let me take a minute to show you something even more important that's going to save you some time and some effort when you're sharpening your blades. Remember the system with the Lansky where you had to take each one of the sharpening stones and put it on. Well, this has one sharpening assembly. And what I do is simply put this sharpening assembly in here, screw it down. It's got a little stop nut there to show you that you're not screwed in too far. And this system comes with either stones or steel. Now you don't get both. Ron sent me both that I could show it to you. But this is diamond stones. These are Arkansas stones, natural stones. So if I want to work, we'll just work right now with these Arkansas stones. What I do is I put the stone into the assembly that I'm working with, tighten down this thumb screw. I've got it there. I want to change to another stone. I simply loosen that up, put my other stone in, tighten it back up. That quickly I'm able to change out what stone that I'm working with. So let me show you now the ease of operation with this thing, because this is a really incredible system. There is a ball bearing up here. This is a Teflon ball, and you might be able to see that. When I get my angle set right, and right now I've got it set right at 22.5, I simply insert the rod into this ball bearing. Now the rod will move freely, but it holds its place. So I can get my angle. Now I showed you this adjusting system here. Let's say that I'm just off a little bit on my angle. I can simply take this adjusting system with it sitting in the knife, lower it down to the correct angle, right there, and then I can go and sharpen my system. Folks, this is as easy as it gets. Makes it absolutely foolproof. You have an exact angle every time. I get finished with that side, flip my blade over, go on the other side, and there you go. One of the things that makes this important is that you're almost never going to get your knife in exactly the same spot every time. So because you're not going to, most likely, being able to change or micro adjust this level makes it really important to get a fine edge and to keep your edge sharp. Okay, so what I can do now, I'm finished with this knife. I simply turn this thumb, loosen this, I can take my blade out, put it away safely. This swivels 360 degrees so I can work on it from any angle. Let me show you again with the smaller knife. We're actually out using this Triflex yesterday from Mora. So I will go ahead and put this Triflex in. Now I can't get inside here to show you, but there's some rubber grips. You may be able to see those grips in there. And that grips that knife very securely. I'm going to have Tam do a close-up on that in a minute, and we'll show it to you. So I just push this in, open those teeth up, put my Triflex in, tighten it down, and I'm ready to go. One thing that I want you to notice on here, there are some lines here. These lines are blade depth reference lines, so if I know, for example, that on my moors I always sharpen at this angle, then I can put this down to the first line. On the tracker, maybe I'm going to set back to the second line, or even a little bit further back. You can set it anywhere that you want in here. It'll go back to a stop, but that'll give you a reference as to where you put them. And again, I typically do my smaller blades on this front line, sharpen that down, and you can see that blade is held very securely in there and isn't going to come out. This handle gives me a strong handle to hold instead of just having to hold the handle of my knife, which could move the knife, or trying to hold the blade or the bottom end of the Lansky system. Just a lot more stable system that we can use as we're sharpening. I can take this, put it in here. Now you can see I'm way too high on my angle right now. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to lower the adjuster a little bit. And there I've got it right on the angle. You can actually see it laying on the angle of the blade. And I can go and I can sharpen my blade. When I'm finished with one side, simply flip it over, go from the other side, and I've got not only a constant angle, but I've got a system that's almost foolproof. I get finished with this knife, with this sharpening stone, take it out, replace it with the finer stone. That quick, and I'm ready to go again. Put this in, take and work my knife, and of course flip it over when I'm ready. Might want to loosen that tensioner a bit because this knife is not near as heavy as that Tom Brown tractor was. And there we go, ready to go again. So I hope that you can see the advantages of this system. And again, let me explain something here. Let me get this knife out so we're a little bit safe. This comes with either Arkansas stones or with assorted diamond stones. The grits come from a very heavy grit that'll take off a lot of metal, right down to an ultra fine stone, which will just finish your blade up so nicely, give it that polished look. Same thing with the diamond stones. If you opt for the diamonds, they come with assorted grits from heavy, medium, fine, and ultra fine. Takes that right down to a polished blade for you. Ron has also put some sharpening honing oil in there, which is very important, especially if you're using Arkansas stones. I tend to use the diamond stones with water. So if I'm out in the field, I can take this kit with me out into the field. It's pretty lightweight, I would say less than a pound, maybe a pound and a quarter. And for a base camp, this would be a great tool to be able to sharpen your tools. So again, I think that Ron has done a fine job with this. I definitely think if you're looking for a system, that this is a system that will suit your needs for any kind of a person that's looking for a little bit easier way to sharpen knives. Hope you've enjoyed this video. This is David Wendell with Bushcraft on Fire. I'm going to put Ron's link and his phone number down at the bottom. Give him a call if you're looking for a great system. This is it. And it's a system that we use now to sharpen everything. Just takes us a few minutes. Till we see you on another video, have a great day, and thanks for joining us.